A Glimmer of Gold in a Roman Canal. The heartwarming rescue of 9 abandoned puppies. In the serene countryside on the outskirts of Rome, an area rich with ancient history and rustic charm, a heart-stopping drama unfolded within the confines of a concrete irrigation canal. The heroes of this story were not clad in armor, but were ordinary citizens and dedicated animal rescue volunteers whose quick and compassionate actions saved the lives of 9 helpless golden retriever puppies. This incident casts a light on the persistent issue of animal abandonment in Italy, while showcasing the profound kindness of strangers, a narrative of hope discovered in the most desperate of circumstances.
A desperate plea from the depths. The morning began like any other in the rolling hills of the Roman countryside, the air filled with the scent of pine and damp earth. A cool breeze whispered through ancient olive groves and across fields preparing for the autumn harvest. However, for a litter of 9 golden retriever puppies, it was the start of a terrifying and life-threatening ordeal. Discarded as if they were nothing more than refuse, they had been callously tossed into the cold, unforgiving confines of a deep concrete drainage canal. Their desperate, high-pitched whimpers were the only sign of the life struggling below the sightline of the average passerby, a fragile sound nearly swallowed by the vastness of the landscape. It was a local woman, a retired schoolteacher named Sophia, out for her daily constitutional along a familiar gravel path, who first heard the faint, sorrowful cries. The sound was so delicate it was almost mistaken for the chirping of birds.
Pausing, she tilted her head, her curiosity piqued by the unusual and persistent sound. She followed it to the edge of the canal, a stark, man-made channel designed to divert rainwater from the agricultural fields, and peered down into the shadows. What she saw made her gasp, her hand flying to her mouth in shock. Huddled on a small, muddy ledge just inches above a slick of murky, stagnant water was a shivering mass of golden fur. There were 9 of them. The puppies, no more than a few weeks old and their eyes barely accustomed to the world, were trapped. Their mother was nowhere in sight, a clear and devastating sign of deliberate abandonment. The steep, slick walls of the canal, covered in a thin layer of moss, offered no purchase, making any escape an impossible feat for such tiny, uncoordinated animals. They were cold, soaked from the morning dew, and visibly trembling from both fear and hunger. Their collective cries were a desperate, instinctual plea for the warmth and safety they had been so cruelly denied. The immediate area surrounding the canal was remote, a patchwork of vineyards and farmland, making their discovery a stroke of sheer improbable luck. Sophia knew she had to act fast. The puppies were exposed to the elements, vulnerable to predators, and at risk of succumbing to hypothermia or drowning if the water level were to rise. With no safe way to reach them herself, she quickly pulled out her mobile phone, her fingers fumbling as she searched for the number of a local animal rescue organization, her voice trembling with a mixture of anger and urgency as she described the dire situation.
A race against time. Upon receiving Sophia's urgent call, the small, dedicated team of volunteers from Angeli a Quattro Zampe, 4-Pawed Angels, a Rome-based animal welfare organization, mobilized immediately. Incidents of abandoned animals are a tragically common reality in many parts of Italy, a nation grappling with an estimated 600,000 stray dogs. The Lazio region, where Rome is located, is home to a significant stray population of around 60,000.
placing immense strain on the network of underfunded shelters and volunteer-run rescue groups that serve as the primary frontline defense for these vulnerable creatures. The rescue team, consisting of 3 volunteers, arrived at the canal in their well-worn van, equipped with ropes, harnesses, thermal blankets, and a large carrier. Their faces were etched with the familiar combination of grim determination and focused resolve, their experience preparing them for the delicate and potentially dangerous task ahead.
The canal's depth, nearly 10 feet, and the puppies' palpable fear presented significant challenges. Their whimpering had grown weaker, a whirling sign that the young dogs were rapidly losing strength. One volunteer, a seasoned rescuer named Marco, with years of experience in such precarious situations, assessed the scene and quickly formulated a plan. The integrity of the concrete wall was uncertain, so a direct descent was risky. Securing a sturdy climbing harness around his waist and chest, his colleagues anchored the rope to their vehicle and began to lower him carefully down the concrete slope. As he neared the bottom, the huddled puppies scattered in a panic, their tiny bodies trembling violently. Marco landed softly on the muddy floor and remained perfectly still, speaking to them in a calm, soothing monotone. He knew that any sudden movement could frighten them into the murky water. Patience was his most crucial tool. He extended his hand, palm down, allowing the bravest of the litter to cautiously approach him and sniff him. After several long minutes, one puppy took a tentative step forward, then another. Marco slowly reached out, gently scooping up the small animal and tucking it securely inside his jacket before placing it in a soft-sided carrier that was then carefully hoisted to safety by the team above. He repeated this slow, methodical process 8 more times, a testament to his team's dedication and expertise in handling terrified, traumatized animals. The final puppy had wedged itself into a small crevice, and it took several minutes of gentle coaxing to retrieve it. When Marco finally gave the signal to be pulled up, the carrier full, a wave of palpable relief washed over the entire team. They had won the race against time.
From canal to clinic. Once all 9 puppies were safely on solid ground, their immediate needs became the singular priority. They were visibly weak, their beautiful golden fur matted with mud, grime, and their own filth. The volunteers worked with gentle efficiency, wrapping each one in a thick, warm blanket and carefully wiping their faces with a soft cloth. They offered them a small amount of a specialized puppy formula from a bottle, which most of the puppies drank from ravenously, their survival instincts kicking in. The relief among the rescuers was immense, but they knew the puppies' journey to recovery was only just beginning. They were immediately transported to a trusted veterinary clinic in Rome for a comprehensive examination and urgent medical care. At the clinic, the veterinary team was ready and waiting. They took over the puppies' care with practiced professionalism, assessing each one for injuries, severe dehydration, and life-threatening hypoglycemia. Thankfully, apart from being dangerously cold and severely malnourished, they had no serious physical injuries. Each puppy was given subcutaneous fluids to rehydrate them, a glucose supplement to stabilize their blood sugar, and the first dose of deworming medication. The clinic staff provided the critical, round-the-clock care necessary for such young and vulnerable animals, placing them in a warm incubator to slowly and safely raise their body temperature. This intensive medical intervention is a standard but costly procedure for rescue organizations, which rely almost exclusively on public donations to cover these essential life-saving expenses. The puppies spent the next several days under constant observation, slowly regaining their strength and their innate playful puppy energy. Their transformation from shivering, frightened, near-lifeless creatures into a boisterous, tail-wagging, squealing pile of pups was a profound joy for the entire clinic staff and the rescue volunteers to witness.
The moment they were strong enough to tumble and play with one another, their yips and tiny growls echoing in the sterile clinic room marked a significant victory. It was a testament to their resilience and the incredible power of immediate, compassionate care.
A new dawn and lingering questions. Now safe and sound, having graduated from the clinic to the care of an experienced foster home affiliated with Angeli a Quattro Zampe, the 9 golden puppies have been given a second chance at life. They spend their days playing in a sun-drenched garden, learning to socialize with other dogs, and sleeping in a warm, soft pile, a world away from the cold, dangerous concrete canal where they were found. The story of their rescue, shared on the organization's social media pages with photos documenting their incredible recovery, quickly went viral, capturing the hearts of thousands across Italy and beyond. This outpouring of public affection resulted in a flood of adoption applications and, crucially, a wave of much-needed donations to the shelter, enabling them to continue their vital work.
While this particular story has a happy and hopeful ending, it serves as a powerful and poignant spotlight on the persistent and heartbreaking problem of animal abandonment in Italy. Every year, particularly during the summer holiday season, thousands of dogs and cats are unceremoniously dumped on streets, in the countryside, or, like these puppies, in perilous locations. This crisis is fueled by a lack of widespread spaying and neutering, leading to unwanted litters that many owners feel unable or unwilling to care for. Furthermore, Italian law prohibits the euthanasia of healthy stray animals in shelters. While this no-kill policy is humane in its intent, it has unintentionally led to severe overcrowding in municipal and private shelters, creating a heavy financial and logistical burden on the organizations that run them. The rescue of these puppies serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of irresponsible pet ownership and the urgent need for stronger enforcement of animal welfare laws and greater public education. As the 9 puppies await their carefully vetted forever homes, their story has become a beacon of hope. It illustrates the profound, life-altering impact that a few compassionate individuals can have, and celebrates the enduring, resilient spirit of animals who, against all odds, are given a chance to know a life of love, safety, and kindness. Their future, once destined to be short and tragic, is now as bright and golden as their coats.